2011 was a very important year for us because that was a year which we had dedicated for tourism, which was called Visit 2011 year. And during that year, we were able to achieve all our tourism targets, particularly the arrival targets, which was 750,000 at the beginning of the year, the target that was set. But we ended the year with 855,000 and 975,000 tourists, which is almost 30.8% growth, which is one of the highest growths in the whole of the year. Actually, in the Sri Lanka tourism promotional strategy, one thing we have got very clear in the recent past is that we have to market Sri Lanka as a diversified destination. It is not just a beach destination or a heritage destination. It's a destination which can offer a variety of things which can be covered within a short period of time. For example, heritage, wildlife, nature, sports and adventure, all these things are products that can be offered in this country. So essentially all these become niche markets. So what we are doing right now is giving the right prominence for each category and promoting them. And looking at the arrivals of tourists for different segments, we can see we are doing the right thing. The real advantage of Sri Lanka comes from three key aspects. Firstly, we have a natural product, an authentic product. Secondly, we are a small country which is 65,000 square kilometers, so you can cover the entire country within a short period, which you call compactness. And fourthly, the diversification. We normally market the product under different 8 product categories that includes beaches, wildlife, heritage, scenic beauty, Ayurveda, yoga and meditation, festivals, then sports and adventure, and essence. Essence is basically being Sri Lankan. Our spices, our gems, our costumes, our dancers and all those things. So this variety, no other destination in the world can offer. Actually, in 2011, the government published a document called Sri Lanka Tourism Development Strategy 2011-2016, which is basically a 5-year master plan which has been developed after a lot of discussion and a lot of thought. In that, we have very clearly identified all the key areas that are necessary for tourism development: the policy framework, the infrastructure, the service standards, the right market segments. All these things have been identified and that has been approved by the cabinet. Now what we are doing is implementing this strategy gradually, step by step, as per our plan. And the key challenges that we have identified in this strategy document: A, the room capacity, which we have to increase to about 45,000, which is basically doubling within 5 years. Secondly, the manpower requirement, which will come to about 500,000 people by 2016. So including these two areas, there are other targets like the foreign direct investment target, then the promotional targets, and all these things. We have a plan and we are working according to the plan, and so far we have been able to achieve all our targets. Actually, if you look at investment opportunities around the world, Sri Lanka has an enormous potential, particularly in the tourism sector, because it is a virgin market. It has not been exploited so far because of the issues that we had in the past. For about 20 years, our development was somewhat slowed down, which again is an opportunity for investors who come in now. They can come and exploit that opportunity. So what we are doing right now, we have created a frameworks and an infrastructure to facilitate investment. So when investors come, how can we make sure their approval process is done faster? How can we assist from the government line agencies? All these things have been thought through and we have put systems in place. And as for local investors, again, we are looking at possibilities of assisting them with bank loans and various other guidance, the policy, and all these things are being worked out at the moment. There are 2 aspects. The first one is we have to create an environment within the country that is conducive for tourism. When a tourist comes to the country, the product must be ready, the service quality must be excellent, the tourist must get a fantastic experience which they will go out and talk about. Second one is, once we identify our right target markets, we have to do our promotions right. For that we need to be very clear what are the promotional methods, what are the promotional channels, what are the promotional tools that we can use. And in this case, the global perception matters a lot as a tourism destination. In fact, unfortunately, we are having problems still with certain world powers still trying to convey a negative message about the country, which is not the truth. We all know it is not the truth. So we have to work together to correct these perceptions and tell the world what is the real product in the country, what is the real situation in the country, and the true positive message must be conveyed to the world.